Right, this is the first in my series of bird photography in New Zealand. We have a bit of a overcast winter's day today, and I've been photographing some of the local birds in New Zealand. Now, a couple of tips I would like to share with you of what I've learned over the last couple of years. Firstly, the camera I use is a DSLR Canon 90D, which has a crop sensor of a 20 megapixel sensor, which I found really good value for money, and I've had a lot of joy out of it. The new cameras obviously come, the new mirrorless cameras come with eye tracking, which makes it a lot easier for focusing on birds. But with the DSLR 90D, I've been quite happy with the spot focus system, just always trying to go for the eye of the bird. Birds move really fast, so you need to have a fast shutter speed. I usually use a minimum of 1,000th of a second or faster. My aperture settings are usually at around f5 to slightly higher. I use a lens, a Canon lens, a zoom 100 to 400 millimeters zoom lens, which is absolutely crisp sharp. It's quite expensive, but really worth the money. And yeah, so the f-stop, I don't open it completely up, I just step it down one stop just to get slightly a bit more of depth of field. So between the tip of the bird's beak and the eye, you get a bit of depth of field, and the background will be nice and blurry. Yeah, so that's it really, basically. ISO settings, the light changes so fast and birds move so fast, so you don't really have time to change your ISO settings, so I usually set it at auto. So all of these settings are in manual setting. So just to recap, manual setting, the camera settings on manual, shutter speed at 1,000th of a second, f-stop at around f5. I use a zoom lens of 100 to 400 millimeter zoom lens, Canon as well. Just a tip to approach birds, rather let birds come to you. Sit quietly behind a tree or try and blend into the natural environment and let birds come closer to you. Birds are sometimes quite inquisitive and will approach you. Generally look for natural food sources in trees and water, and just sort of hang around where birds hang out, and be patient, and yeah, and snap away. Post editing, I use Adobe Lightroom to make your photos really pop, crop and make them pop. I'll bring out a separate video and tips on how to do that. So yes, it's really been enjoyable doing bird photography in New Zealand. It's peaceful, relaxing, good quality time for yourself with nature, and really rewarding. So see you out there, and happy snapping.